the camp of Israel lay still in the wilderness. The tabernacle's curtains, gleaming in the sun, stood at the heart of the people, a reminder of God's nearness and His holiness. Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took their censers and put strange fire in them, fire which the Lord had not commanded. They drew near, perhaps thinking their zeal could substitute for obedience. But fire went out from the Lord and devoured them, and they died before His presence. Moses turned to his brother Aaron, heavy with sorrow, and said, "This is it that the Lord spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me." Aaron held his peace. The people learned in trembling that the God of Israel was not to be approached on human terms. The Lord commanded Aaron that he and his sons must not drink wine or strong drink when entering the tabernacle, lest they die. They were to make a difference between holy and unholy, between clean and unclean. Then came the laws distinguishing what Israel could eat and what they must avoid. The clean beasts, those that parted the hoof and chewed the cud. The unclean swine, camel, hare, and creatures without fins and scales in the waters. The birds and creeping things to be avoided, each named with care. The people were to sanctify themselves, for the Lord was holy. Laws came also for childbirth, purification, for leprosy in skin and garments, for uncleanness by bodily discharge. The priests were to examine, pronounce clean or unclean, and offer sacrifices for cleansing. Every detail whispered that holiness touched every corner of life. Thus, once a year, on the Day of Atonement, Aaron was to enter the most holy place, but not without blood. He would offer a bullock for himself and his house, 2 goats for the people, 1 slain for the Lord, the other released into the wilderness as the scapegoat, bearing away Israel's sins. Incense clouded the mercy seat, and the people afflicted their souls, for on that day atonement was made for all their transgressions. The Lord commanded that all sacrifices must be brought to the tabernacle, that no man slay an animal in the open field as an offering to idols. The life of the flesh is in the blood, He said, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. He warned them against the abominations of Egypt and canon unlawful relations, defilement, and the sins for which the land itself had vomited out its inhabitants. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes, He said, and shall not commit any of these abominations. The Lord spoke again, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. He called for reverence toward parents, keeping Sabbaths, rejecting idols, and offering peace offerings in the right manner. He commanded justice, no stealing, no false witness, no defrauding the neighbor. Leave the gleanings of the field for the poor and the stranger. Judge righteously without respect of persons. Love thy neighbor as thyself. They were to shun divination, avoid cutting their flesh for the dead, honor the aged, welcome the stranger, keep honest weights and measures. Every law was bound to His holiness. The Lord declared judgment on those who gave their children to Molech, who turned to familiar spirits, or who committed the defilements He had forbidden. Such acts brought death, cutting off from the people, or the land itself, casting them out. The people were set apart. Ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that thus should be mine. So, in the wilderness, amidst tents and desert wind, the voice of the Lord carved holiness into the daily life of a nation. Every meal, every measure, every bond between man and woman, every sacrifice, each was either clean or unclean, holy or unholy. And in all, the Lord who dwelt among them was seen as the one whose fire must never be treated lightly, whose law was life, and whose holiness called them to walk as His own. If you enjoyed this short story of KJV, Leviticus 10-20, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you. God bless.